Welcome to Stories That Stay, where William reflects on the lives of remarkable individuals whose memory continues to resonate through time. This channel honors cherished figures from film, music, television, and culture by sharing the moments, achievements, and emotions they left behind. Through every tribute, their story remains alive, meaningful, and forever remembered by those they inspired. 5 years ago this week, the world remembered the remarkable journey of Yaphet Kotto, a performer whose talent and presence left a lasting mark on cinema and television. He was known for bringing honesty, depth, and a sense of realism to every character he portrayed, creating performances that felt natural and deeply connected to the audience. Whether he was playing the respected Lieutenant Al Giardello in Homicide, Life on the Street, the intense and thoughtful Parker in Alien, or the memorable character Kananga in Live and Let Die, Kotto had a unique ability to make each role feel complete and believable. His acting was never about seeking attention. Instead, he focused on creating characters with emotion, complexity, and genuine humanity. Beyond the screen, Kotto became an example of dedication and quiet confidence, showing that powerful performances do not always require grand gestures or dramatic moments. His strength came from the honesty he brought to his work and the way he made audiences connect with the people he portrayed. Throughout his career, he opened doors and inspired many with his commitment to his craft, proving that talent and authenticity can leave a lasting impression across generations. Fans continue to remember him not only for the famous roles he played but also for the warmth, intelligence, and sincerity he brought to each performance. His legacy lives on through the stories he helped tell and the unforgettable characters that remain part of film and television history. Yaphet Kotto's career was a reminder that true artistry comes from understanding people, sharing real emotions, and creating moments that stay with audiences long after the final scene ends. His work continues to be appreciated by viewers around the world, and his contribution to entertainment remains a meaningful part of cinema's rich history. Roderick Darrell Martin, born on April 7, 1954, was an American professional football linebacker who became an important part of the Oakland and Los Angeles Raiders during one of the franchise's most memorable eras. Known for his strong football instincts, determination, and ability to understand opposing offenses, Martin built a respected NFL career that lasted 12 seasons from 1977 to 1988. Throughout his time on the field, he earned recognition as a dependable defender who brought focus, toughness, and leadership to every game. Martin's most unforgettable moment came during Super Bowl 15, where he delivered one of the greatest defensive performances in championship history. He recorded 3 interceptions in the game, a remarkable achievement that helped change the course of the contest and secured his place among the sport's most memorable postseason performers. His incredible performance gained national attention and later earned him a feature on the cover of Sports Illustrated, highlighting his impact on one of football's biggest stages. Away from that historic game, Martin was respected for his consistency and preparation. He was known as a player who could be trusted in important moments and someone who brought discipline and commitment to his team. His teammates valued his presence both on the field and inside the locker room, where he represented the hard-working spirit associated with the Raiders. Martin passed away at the age of 72, with the cause of death not publicly revealed. His career remains remembered through his championship achievement, defensive skills, and lasting connection to Raiders history. He will be honored as a player who delivered when the pressure was highest and whose dedication helped define an important chapter of professional football. His impact continues to be remembered by fans and those who appreciate the history of the game. 20 years ago this week, the music world remembered the passing of June Pointer, a remarkable voice whose talent helped shape an unforgettable era of pop and R&B music. As a member of the Pointer Sisters, June shared her gift with millions through songs that brought joy, confidence, and excitement to listeners everywhere. The group's unique blend of harmony, rhythm, and personality created a sound that became a defining part of the 1970s and 1980s music scene. Songs like Fire, He's So Shy, Jump, For My Love, and I'm So Excited continue to be celebrated because they captured the feeling of celebration and freedom that music can bring. June's contribution was not only about singing powerful notes, but also about bringing warmth and character to every performance she shared. Behind the fame was a real person who experienced the challenges and changes that come with a life in the spotlight, while continuing to leave behind a meaningful artistic legacy. Her journey reminds us that great performers are remembered not just for their achievements, but for the emotions they create and the connections they build with audiences. Even years later, June Pointer's voice remains a beautiful reminder of an era when music brought people together across generations. Her work with the Pointer Sisters continues to inspire new listeners and longtime fans who appreciate the energy, passion, and heart behind every song. June may have left the stage, but the moments she helped create remain alive through recordings, memories, and the countless people who found happiness in her music. Her story is a celebration of talent, family, and the lasting impact one artist can have on the world. Her legacy continues to shine as new generations discover the timeless sounds she helped create. Through her music, June Pointer remains a symbol of dedication, creativity, and the special connection between artists and fans that makes songs unforgettable. Her voice will always inspire hearts worldwide. Actor and comedian Charles Grodin left behind a remarkable legacy in film and television, passing away at the age of 86. Known for his calm, dry humor and unforgettable deadpan style, Grodin became one of Hollywood's most distinctive performers, whose gentle charm connected with audiences across generations. He gained widespread recognition for his role in Midnight Run, where his clever timing and unique personality created a memorable partnership with Robert De Niro. His ability to deliver comedy with subtle expressions and quiet confidence made him stand out among many actors of his era. Beyond that success, Grodin also became a beloved figure for families through the Beethoven film series, where he brought warmth and humor to the screen in a way that audiences continued to appreciate for years. Throughout his long career, Charles Grodin showed versatility by taking on different roles, while maintaining a recognizable screen presence that felt natural and sincere. He was admired not only for his acting but also for his thoughtful approach to storytelling and his ability to bring personality to every character he portrayed. Grodin's performances often balanced humor with heart, creating moments that were both entertaining and meaningful. Fans remember him as an artist who could make audiences laugh without relying on exaggeration, and who brought a special kind of honesty to his work. His contributions to entertainment continue to inspire appreciation from viewers who enjoy classic movies and memorable performances. Although he is no longer with us, his body of work remains a lasting part of cinema history and a reminder of his unique talent and dedication. Charles Grodin's career reflected a passion for making people feel connected through laughter and storytelling. His legacy lives on through the characters he created and the many people who continue to enjoy his films today. He will be remembered as a gifted actor and comedian whose quiet style and genuine presence brought joy to countless audiences. Andre the Giant, one of the most unforgettable figures in professional wrestling history, was born 80 years ago this week. Known around the world as the eighth wonder of the world, Andre became a larger-than-life personality both inside and outside the wrestling ring. His incredible size, strength, and unique presence made him a true icon, and fans still remember the impact he had on the sport. One of the biggest moments of Andre's career came at WrestleMania 3, where he competed in a record-setting main event that became one of the most famous matches in wrestling history. His popularity reached far beyond wrestling, as he also became a beloved figure in entertainment. Many movie fans remember him for his memorable role as Fezzik in the classic film The Princess Bride, where his gentle personality and charm won the hearts of audiences around the world. Behind the famous image was a man who brought joy to millions of people. Andre's career helped shape professional wrestling and inspired generations of performers who followed him. His legacy remains strong because he was more than just a superstar. He was a symbol of passion, dedication, and the ability to connect with people everywhere. Andre the Giant passed away in 1993 at the age of 46, but his influence continues to live on. Decades after his passing, fans still celebrate his achievements, his unforgettable moments, and the special place he holds in sports and entertainment history. His name remains connected with greatness, and his story continues to inspire new generations who discover the legend of Andre the Giant. At 24, John Travolta had already reached heights most actors could only imagine. He had become one of Hollywood's youngest Best Actor Oscar nominees, while Saturday Night Fever and Grease transformed him from a television favorite into a global phenomenon. But the story behind that dazzling smile began far from Hollywood, in Englewood, New Jersey, inside a working-class family where money was scarce but imagination was everywhere. Born on February 18, 1954, Travolta was the youngest of 6 children. His father, Salvatore, worked selling tires, while his mother, Helen, was an actress and drama teacher who filled their home with music and performance. Young John absorbed everything. Their living room became his first stage, and the kitchen floor became his dance studio. At 12, he was already performing locally. At 16, he left school and moved toward New York with little money and an enormous dream. Broadway offered rejection before opportunity. He slept on couches, waited tables, attended endless auditions, and learned that talent alone did not guarantee a door would open. Yet his mother's belief followed him everywhere. She had convinced him that he possessed something special. Eventually, that belief became the foundation of everything that followed. Welcome Back, John. In 1975, the door finally opened. Travolta landed the role of Vinnie Barbarino on Welcome Back, Kotter, and almost overnight, the struggling young actor became a teenage sensation. His face appeared on magazine covers, his name was shouted by crowds, and the boy who had once worried about surviving in New York suddenly had the attention of millions. Yet Travolta wanted more than television fame. He wanted movies, and destiny was preparing something far bigger than he could have imagined. In 1977, he starred as Tony Manero in Saturday Night Fever, playing a young Brooklyn man who escaped the limitations of his ordinary life through dance. Travolta trained intensely, bringing extraordinary physicality and vulnerability to the role. The film became a cultural earthquake, earning more than $230 million worldwide, while its Bee Gees soundtrack became one of the defining albums of the era. Travolta's image in the white suit became inseparable from the 1970s. At only 23, he received an Oscar nomination for Best Actor, becoming one of the youngest nominees ever in that category at the time. Then came Grease in 1978. As Danny Zuko, Travolta turned teenage romance, leather jackets, music, and dance into a worldwide phenomenon. The movie became a massive box office success, and Travolta was suddenly everywhere. Hollywood had found its new king. The fall arrives. But fame can be temporary, and Hollywood can be merciless when its favorite stops delivering. Travolta's extraordinary rise was followed by a painful decline. His first major stumble came with Moment by Moment, a romantic drama that failed badly with critics and audiences. Then Urban Cowboy offered a brief recovery, proving that Travolta still possessed enormous screen appeal, but subsequent choices pushed him further away from the image audiences had loved. Staying Alive, the glossy sequel to Saturday Night Fever, lacked the emotional power of its predecessor. Two of a Kind, which reunited him with Olivia Newton-John, could not recreate the magic of Grease. Perfect also failed to restore his position. With every disappointment, Hollywood became less interested. The phone stopped ringing. The scripts became weaker. The actor who had once commanded enormous salaries was now struggling to find roles worthy of his talent. Even Look Who's Talking in 1989, although commercially successful, did little to restore his dramatic credibility. Travolta had gone from being one of the most exciting young actors in America to being treated like a relic of another decade. The jokes began. The headlines became cruel. His greatest achievements were suddenly remembered as something that had already happened. By the early 1990s, Hollywood seemed to have decided that John Travolta's story was finished, but someone else had a very different idea, a family of his own. Behind the professional resurrection, Travolta was building the part of his life that mattered most to him. In 1991, he married actress Kelly Preston, beginning a partnership that would become one of the defining relationships of his life. Together they created a family that seemed to exist outside Hollywood's constant noise. Their son Jet was born in 1992, and Travolta often spoke about fatherhood with a tenderness that contrasted sharply with the larger-than-life image audiences associated with him. Their daughter, Ella Blue, followed in 2000, and later their son Benjamin was born in 2010. For Travolta, family offered something fame never could: permanence, intimacy, and a sense of belonging. He could be a movie star in front of cameras, but at home, he was simply a husband and father. Kelly understood the pressures of celebrity because she lived them herself, yet their relationship was often presented as remarkably close. Travolta's career continued through the 1990s and 2000s, with successes and failures arriving in cycles. He appeared in major productions, accepted challenging dramatic roles, and occasionally returned to the kind of spectacle that had first made him famous. Yet the true center of his life was no longer the box office, it was his family. The comeback had taught him that fame could disappear. Family, he believed, was what remained when the lights went out. That belief would soon be tested in the most devastating way imaginable, the morning that changed everything. On January 2, 2009, tragedy struck the Travolta family while they were vacationing in the Bahamas. Their 16-year-old son, Jet, died suddenly. The loss devastated John and Kelly and shattered the family's world. Jet had previously experienced serious health difficulties, but the circumstances surrounding his death became the subject of intense public attention and speculation. For Travolta, none of that mattered compared with the simple fact that his child was gone. The man who had survived professional humiliation, career collapse, and years of uncertainty now faced something no comeback could fix. He had spent his life learning how to fight his way back from failure. This was different. There was no role to accept, no audition to win, no movie premiere capable of changing what had happened. Travolta later described grief in terms that revealed how completely Jet's death had altered him. Kelly stood beside him through the devastation, and their family tried to rebuild a life around an absence that could never truly be filled. Travolta returned to work, but the meaning of work had changed. The applause felt different. The cameras felt different. Every achievement existed alongside the memory of the son he could never bring home. The public saw a famous actor mourning. Travolta experienced something far more personal, a father trying to understand how life could continue after the loss of his child. Kelly's final goodbye. For more than a decade after Jet's death, John Travolta and Kelly Preston continued raising their children and appearing together publicly. They seemed determined to protect their family from the worst parts of celebrity life. But in 2020, another devastating blow arrived. Kelly was diagnosed with breast cancer and died on July 12, 2020, at the age of 57. Travolta announced her death publicly, describing her as a loving wife and mother whose life had touched countless people. Once again, the actor was forced to confront a loss that no amount of money, fame, or professional success could prevent. In barely more than a decade, he had lost both his son and the woman with whom he had shared much of his adult life. His daughter Ella and son Benjamin remained beside him, giving him reasons to keep moving forward. Yet grief does not disappear simply because a person returns to work. Travolta continued acting, attending events, honoring Kelly, and sharing moments with his children. But the image of the unstoppable movie star had become impossible to separate from the private man carrying enormous loss. Hollywood continued producing new stories, new stars, and new heroes. Travolta's story had become something quieter. He was no longer fighting simply for a career. He was trying to preserve the memories of the people who had made his success meaningful. The world remembered Tony Manero and Danny Zuko. Travolta remembered a son and a wife. What fame could never fix the tragedy of Travolta's life is not that he experienced failure. failure was something he had already conquered. It is that success itself could not protect him from the things that mattered most. He had known what it meant to be forgotten by Hollywood and had found his way back. He had stood on Oscar stages, danced across movie screens, commanded enormous audiences, and experienced the extraordinary second act of a career most people had considered finished. Yet none of those victories could shield him from personal grief. After Kelly's death, Travolta's public life became more selective. He continued acting, appearing in films and television projects, but the frantic pursuit of superstardom seemed less important. His children became central to his world, and he continued honoring Kelly's memory. He also remained connected to the passions that had defined him beyond acting, including aviation. Travolta has long been an accomplished pilot and aviation enthusiast, and flying provided another dimension to a life that had otherwise been dominated by cameras. The irony is striking. The world once watched him everywhere, dancing under disco lights and moving through action films with effortless confidence. Later, the same man could experience profound loneliness, despite being recognized almost everywhere he went. Fame creates the illusion of constant companionship, but celebrity does not guarantee intimacy. Millions may know your face while only a handful truly know your heart. The man beyond the icon, John Travolta's image has changed repeatedly throughout his life. First he was the charming young actor from New Jersey, then he became Vinnie Barbarino, the teenage heartthrob. Tony Manero transformed him into a symbol of disco-era ambition, while Danny Zuko made him one of the most recognizable faces in popular culture. Then Hollywood turned against him. For years his name became associated with decline, bad decisions, and a career that supposedly could not recover. Pulp Fiction destroyed that narrative. Quentin Tarantino did not merely give Travolta a job, he gave audiences permission to look at him differently. The comeback became part of Travolta's mythology, proving that a career could survive even after the industry had moved on. But the later chapters of his life reveal another truth. Professional resurrection does not erase personal wounds. Travolta has continued to work, travel, fly, and spend time with his children, but the people who once formed the center of his family are no longer beside him. That absence cannot be edited out of a movie or rewritten in a script. It simply becomes part of the person. At more than 70 years old, Travolta carries decades of memories. The applause, the rejection, the comeback, the birth of his children, the death of his son, and the loss of his wife. The public may remember the dance floor. He carries the entire story. The legacy that remains today. John Travolta's legacy is larger than any single movie. He helped define the cultural explosion of the late 1970s, became one of cinema's most recognizable dancers, endured one of Hollywood's most dramatic career collapses, and then achieved one of its most celebrated comebacks. Few actors have experienced such extremes. His story contains ambition, arrogance, failure, reinvention, love, grief, and survival. The white suit from Saturday Night Fever remains an image instantly understood across generations. Danny Zuko remains permanently connected to Grease. Vincent Vega remains proof that a discarded star can become relevant again when the right filmmaker recognizes what others have forgotten. Yet perhaps Travolta's greatest legacy is not simply that he survived Hollywood. It is that he continued living after Hollywood became the least important part of his life. The world once demanded that he entertain it. His family demanded something different, that he simply be present. After losing Jet and Kelly, that responsibility became both harder and more precious. Travolta could not reverse tragedy, but he could continue loving the children who remained. He could preserve memories. He could keep flying. He could keep acting. He could keep moving. The boy from New Jersey who once believed he could touch the stars eventually learned that reaching the top does not make life painless. Sometimes the greatest victory is not becoming famous. Sometimes it is finding enough strength to continue after everything fame cannot save has been taken away. After the applause, John Travolta's life began with a mother who saw something extraordinary in a boy practicing dance steps on a kitchen floor. Decades later, the world saw what she had seen. He became a television sensation, a movie star, an Oscar nominee, a cultural icon, a forgotten celebrity, and then one of cinema's greatest comeback stories. But the most important chapters of his life happened away from the spotlight. They happened in the quiet spaces between premieres, after audiences went home and cameras stopped recording. He learned that a career can disappear and return. He learned that public opinion can change overnight. Most painfully, he learned that there are losses no amount of success can reverse. Jet's death changed him. Kelly's death changed him again. Yet he continued forward, carrying their memories into whatever years remained. That is why the image of Travolta alone can be misleading. He may no longer be surrounded by the screaming crowds that once followed him through airports, but his life is still filled with the people and moments that shaped him. The world may see an aging Hollywood legend. Behind that legend is a father, a husband, a survivor, and a man who has experienced extraordinary highs and unbearable lows. John Travolta once made an entire generation dance. Now his story asks something quieter of us, not to celebrate the fame, but to understand the human being who